up on NFL Primetime. No, not that Primetime. Foxborough was in a major fog today. Or was it just the Steelers? What kind of pressure did Urban feel? Speaking of pressure, Tom Zach had his share. Emmitt felt the squeeze of the Carolina D, while Martin was the pace car for the bus. Can Collins carry the Cats to a higher level? Aikman hopes not if he wants to return to the Super Bowl. Hey, we're over here. Primetime serves up Moose. Yeah. Again, everybody, welcome to NFL Primetime. And as Paul Harvey once said, now you have the rest of the story. We are down to 4 teams. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, along with Tom Jackson and Joe Theismann. And, well, I guess the newer the team, the better they play. I mean, I guess that's what we have learned here this past weekend. Well, in case you have missed it and have been somewhere else, the Jaguars are in the AFC Championship game, and the Carolina Panthers are in the NFC Championship game. The championship run of the Dallas Cowboys is over. The Panthers beat him 26-17, actually knelt down at the 1-yard line. Could have gone in and run it up on the champs. They chose not to. Highlights, reaction, comments of that game coming up a little bit later on. The day began, though, in New England, where the Steelers are playing the Patriots in the Patriots' first home playoff game in 18 years. So, since it's not often they can use these ditties, let me try a few. Listen, my children, and you shall hear that maybe 96 was the Patriots' year. They tried that one. How about the Steelers are coming? The Steelers are coming. And their orders were, don't fire until you see the whites in their eyes. Unless, of course, you can't see their eyes at all. Then fire as soon as you come out of the locker room. Here we go from Foxborough, where you could barely see. Brings back memories. Wasn't as bad as this one, the '88 Fog Bowl between the Bears and Eagles. But it was that sort of day, a Van Morrison into the Mystic day. And on the very first possession, right away, first play, Drew Bledsoe, Terry Glenn, down to the 1-yard line. Joe, they win at Woodson right away.
Well, Rod Woodson, don't peek, Ron. Oh, see what happens when you peek. People run by you. They went right at the heart of the lion early.
What about that? On one play, they're down to the 1. On the next play, they're up 7-0. Curtis, my favorite, Martin. Touchdown, 7-0. Paul Revere riding in a frenzy. Next Patriot possession. We told you on Countdown, watch out for Keith Byers. The little swing pass. And look at big William Roberts lead the way. Byers is gone. 34 yards, 14-0 P-Men.
Yeah, great blocking out front also by Todd Rucci, number 71. Gets a block on Darren Perry and Rod Woodson to screen Byers to the end zone.
Well, Bill Cowher tried to establish the running game with the bus, Jerome Bettis, Tommy, but they're already down 14-0.
Yeah, Bettis getting stuffed right here by Chris Slade and Mark Wheeler, and then Bettis stuffed again by Wheeler and Collins. So nothing for him. They got him running a little bit east and west.
And here's the option for Cordell Stewart, but boy, the Patriots played the run better than they have all year. So second quarter, 4th and 4, the Steelers punting down 14-0, and little trickery. They snap it to the up man. Fred McAfee goes 8 yards for the first down, Joe, but then here come the Patriots rush.
And here they come. Tom Zach's back. He's looking. All he can see is Chad Eaton in your face one time. Next time, all right, let me go back, try it again. This time, Chris Slade. Oh, my goodness, they're coming from everywhere.
Slade says, Mama, we're all crazy now. The next Patriots possession. Curtis, my favorite, Martin. An innocuous little play, but he could go all the way. 78 yards, 1 if I land, 2 if I see, 21-0 Patriots.
Yeah, as we take a look at the replay, you're going to see the things that make Curtis Martin great. Great vision, the cutback lane right there, the last guy with a shot at him, Carnell Lake. He gives Carnell Lake a shake of the leg, and he's off to the end zone.
Well, it wasn't really Tom Zach's fault. They weren't playing defense, but now they need points. So, Joe, it's Cordell Stewart, but to throw, not the way to go.
No, here comes Willie Clay. Bang, 1 into the ground. All right, let's try it again. Didn't work that time. Ted Johnson, Dwayne Saab. No more. Sorry, Cordell. Slash me. Ha! The third time, why not? Let me see if I can throw one out here. I don't think so. That one's into the ground, low and hard.
He's been such a good player, but today Slash was slush. 0 for 10 for O, obviously. 4 carries for just a few yards. Second quarter. Willie Williams, though, makes a nice interception of a kind of a crazy pass thrown by Drew Bledsoe. So could the Steelers get into it at the end of the half? Tom Zach back in to Andre Hastings, screen for 7 yards. On 4th and 3, down 21-0, they figure we need a lot of points. They go for it. Tom Zach to Fred McAfee. but Teddy Bruschi brings it down, and already in the stands they were firing down a few Bruschis. 21-0 Patriots. Third quarter, Bledsoe, but it right to Chad Brown. So maybe the Steelers have some light. Tom Zach back in, and he'll pump and look for Andre Hastings. A fine catch, 23 yards. Later in the drive on 3rd and 10, here's Cordell in there as a halfback, and Harry Houdini, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He gets 5 yards, but not a first down. This time, let's get on the board. Says the Steelers. Norm Johnson, field goal, 29 yards, good, 21-3 Patriots. But Tom Zach and the Steelers offense never could get it going. They knew they had to make something happen. And this is Lawyers and Love Malloy. Double coverage makes the pick on Tom Zach. And then the next possession in the fourth quarter, it was sealed. Curtis Martin, the little fake. Oh, what a cut at the 22, and he's gone. 3 touchdowns, 166 yards for Martin. He's ecstatic. This look says it all. These were not the Steelers that Bill Cowher has grown to love. These were the Patriots that Bill Parcells has seen on occasion. The Sunday night game against San Diego, a couple other times they've looked like world beaters. Today they were world beaters. They knock out the defending AFC champs by the count of 28-3. First 6 plays of the game included a 34, 53, and a 78-yard gain. They didn't even take Steeler penalties because they gained more yards than the penalties would have given. Keith Byers was signed in the middle of the year by the Patriots. Good move by both.
Pittsburgh, they're a great team. They're the defending AFC champions. But, they got sort of a bully-type mentality. And when you get a bully in your backyard, you got to hit him in the mouth first to let him know you're not going to back down. And that's how you got to handle a bully, and that's exactly what we did.
I did a lot of blitzing and things like that. They really they did some good things in terms of blitzing us and keeping us off balance.
We can't take nothing away from them. If they wasn't a good team, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. They wouldn't have went to the Super Bowl last year. But what people don't understand, that's last year. It's a new year. You got to prove yourself every year. You got to prove yourself every year. And all the talk in the world, all the interviews in the world, all the shows, all the ESPN up close, all that stuff don't matter. What matters is what the score is after the game.
The teams that have had trouble against Pittsburgh acted like they were a little bit confused, didn't know where they were going. We knew exactly what we were doing coming into the game, and because of that, our guys were able to be aggressive in getting their job done.
Boy, Drew sounds so low-key, doesn't he? Well, I'll tell you what, he was not low-key, guys, because New England went for the jugular right away, Tom, and Bledsoe was on right away.
Well, we just heard Drew talking about confidence, and I think early on this morning we talked on Countdown about the confidence and the timing with which he would have to throw the ball early on. He did just that. He had a slow second quarter late, but early on in this football game, very sharp. You watch him deliver the ball on time. You watch him stepping into his throws with confidence. We're going to even see him give a little movement as he takes the next snap. He comes just slightly to his right, but again, delivering the ball where his receivers can catch it and make some ground, giving him a chance quickly to get upfield and make some yardage. And I think we also have to credit Bill Parcells. He knew that the fog was going to roll in. He didn't want that bus to roll out of that Steeler garage. He did a lot of things early on with this offense.
Well, the bus had a flat tire. I think that's the one thing you have to take into consideration as well. You've got Jerome Bettis out there who really wasn't at 100%, and that's how the Pittsburgh Steelers got into the playoffs, because Jerome was 100%. They're a one-dimensional football team. They can't throw the football effectively. Cordell Stewart 0 for 10. Mike Tom Zach 16 for 29. You can't go 16 for 39 in a football game and expect to win it, especially when the other team has the ability to put a lot of points on the board in a hurry like New England did.
It looked like Pittsburgh was demoralized early. I mean, obviously they were, but defensively, this was not the Steeler team that we had seen.
Tired, Boom.
Well, they were tired, and they already knew that we're down 14-0 with Jerome Bettis at the bus. It was a transit strike. They couldn't run. And give New England defense credit. They've said that they've been coming on lately. Boy, they were coming on gangbusters, and now they get to host the AFC Championship game. How about that? Well, the New England Patriots rolled it up on the Steelers, which means the Steelers allowed more than 17 points. When that happens, they're 0-7. 17 or less, they win those games. As you say, Joe, they're one type of team. Usually it's good enough to get you to the AFC Championship game. It's not good enough this year. Congratulations to the Patriots. We'll talk about the AFC title game later in the show.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
And when we return, well, the AFC champs were out. What about the Super Bowl champs? Certainly they couldn't fall on the same day as the Steelers. Or could they? We'll be back.
Is brought to you by Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair for men and women.
NFL countdown next Sunday, an hour leading up until the championship games, the first of which will be the NFC game. By the way, we should mention the Curtis Martin 78-yard run, the second longest run for a touchdown in playoff history. Roger Craig 80 for the Niners against the Vikings in 88, the only one longer than that. Then, of course, NFL Primetime. We'll dissect how the teams are going to the Super Bowl. We'll know that next Sunday, 7:30 Eastern Time. Now, on to the late game today. When we return, how about them Cowboys? Or would it be, how about them Panthers? We'll be back. Okay, a little later on. Yeah, remember when they didn't wear helmets? The Red Wings of Gordie Howe, the Blackhawks of Bobby Hull, coming up at the top of the hour. The Dallas Cowboys have won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls, although this season, certainly beginning with their offseason, has not been your normal smooth ride, to say it in the very least. But still, the Dallas Cowboys have been to 8 Super Bowls in their history. The Carolina Panthers have been in the league for 2 years. All right, so they won the West. All right, so they're undefeated at the Big E Erickson Stadium 8-0. Certainly, the young Panthers wouldn't have a chance at the defending champion Dallas Cowboys. That's why they play the games. Here we go from the Big E. First playoff game ever at the Big E. And for Troy Aikman, he's only 11-1 as a starter in the playoffs. Kerry Collins never started in a playoff game. What a mismatch. Well, Eric Williams, Michael Irvin in the news all week. On the field, though, could they and the team get it going? Kerry Collins very early on, intercepted by Darren Woodson, the 48-yard line. So Collins obviously nervous at the start. Troy Aikman not nervous down to Michael Irvin, picks up 22 down to the 31, but boom! Lamar Latham plants him on the play.
Yeah, Lamar Latham, outstanding tackle. You see him drive him down right on that right shoulder. That shoulder was injured.
Irvin, the x-rays were negative. He sprained his right shoulder, however, and he did not return. The Cowboys just get a field goal on that drive, 3-0. Then on the next drive, Collins looking deep for Willie Green. Color of money. It's a flag on the play, Joe.
It's a maul job. Actually, this is a good job by Kevin Smith. He doesn't allow Willie to run free for the touchdown. Winds up with the penalty.
Well, Green working on Smith again, and Willie Green. 21-yard play down to the 1. Then Collins, play action, rolls out. Wesley Walsh, we told you, Tommy, beware of him. That's his 11th touchdown this year.
Yeah, Walsh spot shadow there, does a good job of faking the block, gets outside for the nice touchdown. That throw made it a little more difficult.
No, it's a hard throw, Tommy.
It's a touchdown, and the Panthers have the lead 7-3. Collins goes back to Walsh. That's a good throw for 12 yards. Collins, no jitters anymore. This slant to Willie Green. Color of money. Boy, he ruined the Cowboys as a Lion in 1991. Then in the playoffs, 4th and inches in the Dallas 19. Dom capers to the chagrin of Barry Switzer. Says Collins, you keep it going, first down. Second quarter, same drive. Willie Green, touchdown, 14-3 Panthers. Early second quarter, Joe.
What a great job he does of reaching out, making a clutch catch.
But the champions are the Cowboys, and they say, wait a minute, we're down 11. Let's get going. Aikman working without Michael Irvin goes to left side to Kelvin Martin for 12. Then Aikman to Martin again. First down, 15 yards. Then left side to Kevin Williams, 15 yards. Does Aikman smell a weakness in the Panther pass team?
Well, Aikman goes to Tyrone Poole's side, and what a great throw he makes. Poole was having a hard time much of the first half keeping his feet.
That sets up 3rd and goal. Aikman to Moose Johnston. Nice catch, touchdown, and it's 14-9. So you got to go for 2 down by 5 points. And Aikman looking for Eric Bjornsson, but does not get it. So it stays 14-9. Aikman strains his calf in the process, but normally reliable special teams of the Panthers. A snap over the head of Ron Stark alertly knocks it out of the end zone for safety to make it 14-11. After the free kick, Aikman going deep for Kelvin Martin, but overthrown. Davis was beaten on the play. 2 plays later, Aikman looking for Martin. This time it's Chad Cota. Mama gonna take my coat of chrome. Mama gonna take my coat of chrome. Mama gonna take my coat of chrome away. Down to the 26-yard line. So it's 17-11 at the half. 3rd quarter, same score. Winslow Oliver. He's been good all year, but Darren Smith is going to make a big plant right there. And Moose Johnston is Johnny on the spot. So the Cowboys inside the 5 on 3rd and goal. Aikman flushed right. fires, incomplete to Kevin Williams. So again, deep, Switzer and company have to settle for a field goal, but they're just down 17-14. Fourth quarter now, it's 23-14 after 2 more field goals. Razzle-dazzle to Deion Sanders. It's a big play, but a bad ending for Deion, who is planted and will be taken away on the stretcher. But the Cowboys get to the red zone again, inside the 5. 3rd and goal from the 3. Incomplete to Bjornsson. Another field goal by Bonyo and makes it 23-17. 4 minutes to go. Ron Starr, the punt. These are the special teams we've seen all year for the Panthers. Rocket Ismail going to down it at the 2. 98 yards away from the touchdown that'll put him in the lead. Kevin Williams incomplete, but Tyrone Poole. Interference. Martin stopped short of the first down, but holding on Poole. First down. Aikman. But it's a golden domer, Joe. It's Pat Terrell that makes the play.
What a great play by Pat Terrell, even though he did go to Notre Dame. That's a terrific job of playing the ball in the air, keeping an eye on it, going up and getting at its highest point.
That sets up John Casey at the bat. It's Casey at the kick. He was automatic. Good! 26-17, Carolina, under 2 minutes to go. The Champs now need 2 scores. Aikman, desperate, in the shadow of his own goalpost. Picked off by Sam Mills, a.k.a. the field mouse.
And the field mouse started to down it. Then he thinks he's going to go toward the end zone. And right there, he's just covering the ball. Good job of covering the ball up.
And who would have ever thought that the Panthers had a chance to run up the score on the Champs? They did not. They knelt it at the 1. Dom Perignon Capers, Coach of the Year. Boy, we've been talking about the Panthers all. It doesn't come as a surprise to us. Some others have. This does not. The Panthers beat the Cowboys 26-17. Afterwards, Chris Mortensen with Lamar Lathan.
Did you ever really imagine you'd knock off the defending Super Bowl champions?
Hey, all week long, all we heard was, Carolina Panthers couldn't match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Their head coach, who is a class guy, he said, he didn't even know where Charlotte, North Carolina was. I want to propose a question to Barry Switzer. While you're sitting at home next week, do you know what Charlotte, North Carolina is now, baby? That's all I'm going to say.
Congratulate Carolina. They played well, deserved to win the ball game, and I'm proud of them. They played hard. And, our guys are great competitors. They're champions, and they battled against some tough odds tonight.
Tough odds and a tough team. Uneasy is the head that wears the crown, and Dallas has found that out as their championship run ends, and maybe one just beginning for the Carolina Panthers. And Joe, the Cowboys, now what, 8 out of the 17 games they played this year, 17 or less points. That's tough. Right. But they're inside the 5, not red zone. 4 times rather, get only 1 touchdown. That's not going to win it.
Well, a lot of credit to Carolina's defense, obviously, Chris, but also you have to look at the ineptitude of the Dallas Cowboys on offense, particularly Troy Aikman. I'll give you his stats for the year just so you get an idea of exactly what today looked like. He was 6 for 52, over 20 yards this year. No touchdowns, 6 interceptions. You can't throw the ball deep. Plus, he loses Michael Irvin, and he loses Deion Sanders, anybody who can go deep. There's the first one, gets knocked away by Tyrone Poole. No interference call. Now Troy tries to go up top late in the game. Pat Terrell's back there. He makes the interception. There's just really nowhere for him to go down the field. They hadn't challenged it all year. They hadn't tried all year to go downfield. They had no success going downfield. And Tommy, if you don't stretch that field, you can't throw the underneath routes. It's exactly what happened to him.
Yeah, and we talked this morning about the fact that both of these offenses would be keyed by the running game. Emmitt Smith and the Dallas Cowboys, with that great offensive line, had a very difficult time putting the yardage together. Emmitt Smith was outrushed by Anthony Johnson, 104 yards to 80. And then the other thing you have to consider, the playmaker for the Dallas Cowboys leaves that game early, and I think maybe it would have been a different game with Michael Irvin. We don't know. But certainly he couldn't find the targets that he needed to down the football field.
Actually, today, the Carolina did a couple of things. Normally, if you get us close, we're not going to do things to foul things up. The special teams at times gave them some trouble.
Well, I thought the special teams were outstanding. When you talk to the Panthers during the course of the week, they talked about the fact that in 19 weeks into the season, this was the first time that they might go in with the opposing team having an edge. But they, I think, and they had a couple of plays go against them. The punt that went over the head, the one exchange, the turnover that led to a field goal. But when you look at the return yardage, all of it in favor of the Carolina Panthers.
Kerry Collins came out, Joe, and threw an interception on the first series of the game. Now, his stats, 12 of 22, 100 yards. I mean, you're not going to say, wow, he really lit the place up. But young quarterback in that situation to say, what does it take inside here to settle down after an opening series like that and play error-free football?
You know what it took, Chris? It took the San Francisco game in the early part of the year to get Kerry's teammates to believe in him. They put it all on his shoulders in that game, said, hey, look, if we're going to beat the 49ers, Kerry, you're going to have to go get it done. He did it. So he gained confidence. The team gained confidence in him. When he came out and threw the interception early in this game today, it wasn't going to bother him because, first of all, he knows he's got a great defense. That gives a quarterback a little bit of confidence to know you can take some chances. And if you do make a mistake, it's not going to hurt you down the road. So he's just going to come out firing next week. Don't look for Kerry Collins to back off and be conservative one bit.
Last year, Dallas and Pittsburgh played in the Super Bowl. In 6 hours today, they both were eliminated from the playoffs. Wow. When we return, game balls and a look ahead to what's coming next Sunday. And you know what? Don't give them off into the Patriots defense. We might have to look their way this evening.
Is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. The way we call collect today.
My game balls are going to go to a couple guys on the Patriots defense. Ted Johnson, the middle linebacker, Chris Slay, the outside linebacker. Each had 8 tackles, each had a sack. Andre Tippett and Steve Nelson never did it better. Joe?
Mine goes to Kerry Collins. Even though he made the one mistake early, it's throws like this that kept the ball club going. He threw the ball when he had to, Tommy.
Mine's going to go to Curtis Martin, 19 carries, 166 yards. Marvelous job by his offensive line, 3 touchdowns. You see the receptions. We'll be back.
It's tough being a kicker.
What a magical year it's been in Erickson Stadium as the Carolina Panthers complete a perfect 9-for-9 slate at home, and they're going to the NFC Championship game at the Tundra, which at least will be painted, if not frozen. Carolina, Green Bay, Joe, first crack at it.
Green Bay's got a real challenge because Carolina doesn't have much of a history, so there's really not a lot to look back on. I think they got to do a lot of homework this week to get ready for a team that really nobody is and can predict.
They wanted Dallas, they got Carolina. Sorry, they got something else. Well, last night, or I should say this morning at 1:30 in the morning, 40,000 on hand to greet the returning Jacksonville Jaguars from Denver. What a scene it was. And now Jacksonville, down 22 points in week 4 at New England, goes back to New England where they almost won. The Patriots beat them 28-25. And Tom, that was the knock it down bowl. Will we see it again?
Yeah, well, 2 classic football teams who like to do the same things. Power running game, inside the tackles, 2 outstanding quarterbacks, and defenses that suddenly have come on in the second part of the season. So I think a great matchup.
Well, I got a couple things to say. In 2 weeks, we've seen Jacksonville and Carolina, been in the league, 2 years, knock out Dallas, Buffalo, and Denver combined been to 16 Super Bowls. Now, who would have guessed this? A year ago, we stood at the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio in July. Watched Jacksonville play Carolina in their first game.
That's right.
Who would have thought it might be the Super Bowl? Well, you know what? We'll see you at the Super Bowl. I get a little knee surgery next week. I won't see you here. We'll be watching at home. I'll be keeping track of you. For Tom Jackson and Joe Theismann, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching.